What's happening, people? United Central here, back again with another video. There's no wind this time. We're in a studio, finally. We had, the comments battered me, man. The comments battered me. We're finally in studio. It's all a process. I said it would happen. And shout out to the plug, Nuradeen. We sorted it, man. It's got to be done. Yes. What's happening, boys? Everything okay? You're not on Twitter?
I am on Twitter, mate. I am on Twitter. Asking the tough questions. Tough questions.
Okay, Aaron, what you been saying, man?
Good, man. Very, very good.
This is going to be different today. It's going to be a Q&A because it's boring international football. And I've had enough. I see Jesse Lingard, Rashford, people like that just thinking that, you know what I mean?
See that finishing video?
Have you seen the little clip of Jadon Sancho ripping Harry Maguire apart?
Yo, man. As long as they're teammates next year, yeah, he can do what he wants now. But we're going to go straight into this, yeah? This is Man United or general football questions.
Let's go.
So we're going to delve into this one. And the first one's a good one, actually. This is from Hasnain FT. Should Twanzebe... Shout out to you, man. Should Twanzebe be given a chance in the next game after Lindelof's poor form? Go with you, Nuradeen, first.
I think, obviously, we are all kind of because of the disappointing. So let's put it this way. If so on buts, but sometimes if so on buts can actually get you in a different mind state. So if we conceded, Lindelof conceded those goals and then we did go and win those games, the two games, Southampton and Crystal Palace, would he be under as much criticism as he is right now? So we have to just put that in, be a nuance, in that sense. I think it's going to take, it's a work in progress. I think the partnership between Maguire and Lindelof is going to take. But what I do like about what I have always loved, if you ever asked me, from back in the day, what's my preferred centre halves, I always said somebody who's dominant in the air, who's a bit of a brute, and somebody who's lightning and quick. And the thing about Twanzebe is that he has got frightening pace.
Yes,
right, literally frightening pace. So I would prefer to think, you know what, give him a go, because it can't be. Not that you can drop Lindelof in terms of dropping Lindelof, but I think in the next couple of weeks after this dull, horrendous international football, I just can't. I don't know how much I hate it.
You gotta just fight through it, man.
Yeah, and also we're going to talk about possible solutions as well in your videos. We're going to talk about possible solutions to what would we have in international breaks. But to answer your question, I think in the next couple of weeks, upcoming weeks, in the games that we're going to get in the Carabao Cup and in the definitely we would see him. But in the pre-season, he looked peak. He looked like he was up for it.
You agree with that, Aaron?
I agree with everything you just said. There's nothing more to add.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the next game, but in the next few games, maybe I would say even the first Europa League game, because it's, with all due respect to FC Astana, it is just FC Astana and it's at home, so why not give Axel a start?
Trust me.
Why not?
Shout out to your question. We're going to try and get a run through as many as we can.
Yeah.
Sparks352, shout out to you. Is Ollie really the problem when we had 20 plus shots both game and the opponent's free? Yes, but you got to bag them. But is Ollie to blame for that?
No.
No?
I don't think so. If we're having, what's it, 20 shots?
20 shots.
If we're having 20 shots, it's not down to Ollie, it's just down to the players.
If you look at how many shots are genuine, apart from that Mason Greenwood, how many shots are genuine?
But that's again the fact that Mason Greenwood came on and done the little step over, boom, tried to put it top bins. It's the intention to finish what you created.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And we've not done that. Like people have created chances for other people. I'm thinking
it's up to them to finish it, innit?
Yeah.
That's what
finish your dinner.
If you don't finish your dinner at the end of the day, Ollie's not to blame.
No one's tucking it in for you.
Because if you put a beautiful through ball to me, and I bottle in front of the goalkeeper, the manager's not to blame. You're not to blame. I am, because I've not finished it.
Yeah.
For me, I have a slight issue with that stat. Obviously, in the week you have seen Manchester United coming out. I can't believe actually. It's absolutely disgraceful.
You've seen it, haven't you?
It is peak Glazer Woodward kind of absolute PR machine at work, right? Where they try to spin it and go, well, we are 8th, but really on chances we should be. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are we living in the real world? Or are we living in the stat world, right? So stats can tell you two different things.
Yeah.
Stats sometimes can prove certain things what you're doing. But to me, it's not the fact that we have 20 shots on goal. It's, for me, the most important stat is how many did we have on target?
Trust me.
So when I look at 20 shots on goal, I'm like, wow, 20 shots on goal.
Exactly.
I'm like, how many on
This match
target?
looks tasty.
It's 3 or 4. It's at the most 3 or 4. In the last 2-3 games, we had 2 or 3 in each game.
Yeah.
So for me, it just shows that we're not making enough chances to work the keeper. The biggest thing I always said for me, I'm one of the lucky ones, and I keep repeating this. I've seen Man United lift everything.
Broken record.
Everything. So for me, if the opposing keeper makes fantastic saves, if we hit the bar and post, I, as a football fan, who's seen Man United win everything, right?
Yeah.
I can get away and think, you know what? That was just one of those days. And I remember there were certain seasons, even with Fergie, right, where we would just batter teams, but we couldn't get that ball in the net.
Yeah.
And that's sort of the place of performance. No, it's just sometimes in sport, you try everything, you work hard in training, you're in there, you're in the positions, you try to put the ball in the net, and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So I could always just say, you know what? No fault of the players. No, like I said, remember when we got beat at Tottenham? When Tottenham beat us 3-0 in that game?
Yeah.
That will stand out as the number 1 game for Jose Mourinho. The game that I enjoyed watching Man United. In that game, we got whacked 3-0. And you know what?
I didn't feel like that though.
I promise you, we got whacked 3-0, and I was like, that's the first time I've seen Man United.
Yep.
For about half an hour, 20 minutes, Spurs.
Yeah.
With
Dominate.
the technical, not the likes of Smalling and Jones at the back. I'm talking about seasoned pros on the ball at the back, couldn't get out.
Yeah.
So you have to think what happened and how many the keeper makes saves. If the keeper makes saves, then fair play. So you're unlucky.
Yeah. Next question, Isaac. Shout out to you, Isaac. Should Pereira play in a deeper role? He seems more suited to playing when he collect the ball in defence and distribute.
Yeah.
Is that for you a question, or for me? I don't know if it's good enough, but is it better for him playing a deeper
That
role?
was going to be the first thing I was going to say, but I would try it. At the end of the day, he's part of our squad. You can't just dash him out in the middle of the season. It's still 4 games in, so I would. It's a squad where you have to try and try different tactics, not tactics, but different formations. So if he's more comfortable in that deep line role, which I doubt he is, because I think he's more of a number 10. He's more comfortable in that free role, let's say. But if that's an option that you can try, why not?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, when Ollie played him on that wing, I just thought it was wasteful.
It's travesty, mate. It's a
He's
travesty.
not good enough to play on the wing. He's not got the pace, the technique maybe, but he can't beat a man. Do you know what I mean?
I'd rather Matter on the right. That's how bad it is.
The thing is, they're both wasteful. They're both wasteful on the right.
On a serious note, Mata, for me, that's when I curl up. I literally curl up in a corner.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I really curl up. I'm like, oh God, when I see Mata, on that right, my heart just sinks. I'm just like, because I know the guy and I know he never wants to play there, and I've spoken to him countless times to say, and he just looks at me and just, he doesn't acknowledge anything. He's just like, I'm better in them. I'm like, I know you're better. That's why we bought you. That's why you're Man United, because you're better in the middle. But I will say about Pereira, I am somebody who's a big fan of Pereira, right? But I can't defend him, and I can't expecting him to wish him. I can wish all day because the cows come home and think that he's going to be this, he's going to be that. This is season. Either to me, it lynches on this season. He either gets in that team, whether coming off the bench or starting games, and makes an impact, or he hasn't. Then he's not the player that we think. I think I see enough talent in him. The only thing that I would say in the Southampton game, if you look to that goal, the move to set up James for that wonderful goal.
They all work in a
yeah. So
it's
basically,
similar to Wolves' goal.
Yeah, this is exactly
similar.
So basically, Juan Bissaka starts to move one touch to either one of the centre midfielders. This time against Wolves, it was Pogba. And then this time it was McTominay. And then the best thing about that move is Herrera's touch, because Pereira's touch. Sorry.
I wish Herrera was here.
Oh, I wish Herrera was here. See, I'm mixing their names. That's how much I miss Herrera. But Pereira's touch makes that goal, because his touch is instant.
Yeah.
He literally, ball gets to him. Juan Bissaka, McTominay played to that. The ball gets to play into Pereira. That lovely cut touch, just without even, without any too much of it.
Yep.
That touch into the path of McTominay. McTominay then 1-2, bam, hits it out. And that was the way to do it. And sometimes in that situation, Mata is on his left foot.
Yeah.
He's more likely to hold the ball first.
Yeah.
And then try to dilly, like your favourite word.
Dilly-dally.
Dilly-dally a little bit, then suck it off.
Yeah.
But Herrera has got that touch to do it. I definitely see him in a position more of a kind of in a 3, where you can go either left or the right, where you have the defensive discipline, but you are there to create things. Like we've seen in the pre-season game, where he played that beautiful ball through to Martial, where is that connection just around the corner, get it 1-2, bang. And the thing about it is, he will always venture out wide. He's a pre-season master though. No, but he can always venture out wide, because we already see they already made a goal this season as well. He was involved in this goal, right? He made the goal already, because he can whip a ball in between the keeper and the striker. So to me, he might venture out to the right, because he's the best crosser we've got in the club. No doubt about it. I've seen that guy put balls in like nobody. And in the games where he's played, even under Jose.
Next question. We have a tough fixture list coming up, starting with Leicester. Will Ollie preserve with underperformers, i.e. Scott, Jesse, or will he give Garner, Gomez a chance? Which for me, they're crying out for Garner, Gomez. But like I said, he had the chance to do it against Southampton, but you paid him in the under-23s. Yes, you can talk about, it takes a while for players to perform at a certain level. But right now, I don't know what we lose out. If you pay Gomez and Garner now, I don't know. You know what I mean? McTominay's not better. You know what I mean? Matic is certainly not better. So why not just throw them in and see what happens?
The thing with young players is, well, for me personally, and I've always said it, you never know if they're good enough until you play them. Just play them, and then you will know if they're good enough or not. If you play Gomez and he has an absolute shocker, then at least we know, okay, the guy's not ready.
Not ready.
Put him back in the under 23s. But if you put him in and the guy magically just creates super stuff, then at least we know, okay, we've got a player there. Do you know what I mean? So against Leicester, I wouldn't say start them, but I would definitely say give them minutes. Like someone like Greenwood, come on, give him more than 20 minutes.
Seen him in the under 21s video. The finishes.
Give him more than 20 minutes, man. You give him 3-4 minutes against Wolves when we're chasing for a win. You give him what was it, 7-8 minutes against Southampton, and the kid is so talented. He comes on and just creates a chance for himself. But I do believe that is I'm not going to say it's time, but you should definitely give them some minutes, definitely, because the thing with Ollie is, I can see the scenario in front of my eyes right now. Jesse and Rashford are gonna have super games with England, because they're not playing. Who they're playing? They're playing Bulgarian. What was it? Bulgaria and forgot who it was.
I forgot. But probably.
But not really.
That's how much we're above that by international football.
Exactly.
I don't even know. So it's Bulgaria and someone else. Not really great opponents, are they? You can just see it. Jesse's going to have a masterclass. Everyone's going to hype him up again. He's going to come back to Man, and even Rashford, he's probably going to score a goal or two. Going to come back to United.
But all they need to do is get you in the right place when you got Sterling and
it's international football. You play what, once a month? Once a month. Do you know what I mean?
Far too often for me.
Once a month, and then you've got obviously club football in between.
And then you got one of
They're going to have fantastic games. The media's going to hype them up again. They're going to come back to United, and they're going to start.
Can I just to answer that question? So can you just repeat that question, please?
So it's about
youngsters. So most of you know, I am Ollie in all day, every day. I am on flip flop watch every day.
Who are you talking about?
Flip flop watch 24/7 in the WhatsApp groups. And the guy who's starting the literally
there's no brigade out here.
Getting out
there's
that
no
brigade. No, I wasn't just talking about. You're talking about there's actually more staunch brigade leaders in the group than you. So just calm down, pal. All right. But what I would say is that I love Ollie, and I think that what he's done in terms of clearing out the back, the absolute pile Deadwood FC, what he's done already is incredible. It's incredible in that kind of sense, because where man's have got 5-year contract and they've been there for 9 years and done jack, right? He's got rid of them to Roma, right? You know what I mean? That just won. You know what I mean? The Choco Brothers, but. The biggest thing that I would always criticize him on team tactics, substitutions. About the in terms, I'm not talking about game management. This word is used and it's like a buzzword that's arrived in football talk in the past 5-6 years. There's no management of game. There is ways to see out a game, right? The management is a totally different, because you can't manage the other team. You can't manage. You could try to do your best to see out a game. That is the way you would do it. But you ain't managing the game, because the other team, you ain't in charge of the other team. You know what I mean? They're doing what they're doing.
Exactly.
Right?
What they want.
Exactly. But my only biggest criticism is that Ollie, and I've said it on the fan cams, and I've said it since the beginning of the season, and I keep repeating it. I'll say, Ollie, if we're gonna go on this adventure with you, don't
bottle it. Don't bottle it.
Dilly.
I think it's bottling.
Dilly. No, it's dilly-dally. He's dilly-dallying because he's telling us about, oh yeah, the kids will get the kids. Listen, don't talk about the kids.
Yeah.
Let's get them on that pitch. Because one thing we do know, historically, these youngsters have got what it takes to play for Man United. They've been up to a certain age. They've made it to that certain grade in one of the biggest football clubs in the world, even though not a great team at the moment. To me, there is nothing worse that going. To me, can you imagine millions support United? The excitement of Greenwood starting a game,
of course,
or Gomez coming on for half an hour to go, or starting a game. That idea that regardless what happens in the game, there's zero blame. There's zero blame on you, even as the manager. Even you might say, oh, the rest of the professionals, you know, the Harry Maguires, the Paul Pogbas, you know what I mean? They're the like Juan Matas were going, you can't throw really in. Because there is this thing that coaches and managers think about. I can't really play youngsters and expect the team to perform in a certain way. The senior players are gonna go, "What you doing? You can't. You know, you don't know what you're doing." But for me, I'm just thinking the goodwill that you would get, and that you've done part of the clear out. This is the rebuild. Let's get excited and let's get behind you. But get these kids on the pitch. I remember, I'm saying football connoisseur, Barcelona, Man United at Barcelona. We got whacked 4-0. It was a masterclass of a show by Romario and Stoichkov. Those of you who are football connoisseurs need to get on that research. Find that highlight.
Find the facts.
Guess what? Ryan Giggs is what? Nicky Butt's like 17, 18 years old. Ryan Giggs is like 18, 19. That never ruined them. So the other thing that people say is, these you can ruin these youngsters. No, these youngsters have already had disappointments, and they're playing in these different levels of football. I mean, our team on the 23s, because they're different, because we rushed some of the talent into the first team and onto the under 23s. Under 18, some of them got relegated. You know what I mean? We're now on the 23s. We're in Division 1. We're in the Championship. That's where we are. So, to me, give young people an opportunity and you'll be surprised how much they thrive.
Definitely.
This one's a funny one from MH. Do you give Lingard the number 7? No.
Actually,
no.
You never know. You know what? Actually,
no.
Are you mad? I love you. How dare you, man?
Let me tell you.
How dare you?
Let me tell you. Listen,
you just know it's for
reverse psychology. Let me tell you something.
You just know that this is for his
ego,
image
man.
purposes.
Come on, man.
Listen to what I'm saying to you. Let me tell you. Just explain to you.
Yeah.
So, all of the players who have got the number 7 shirt recently, since that Michael Owen has absolutely done some juju.
I don't know where he's travelled today.
Michael Owen juju business going on, right? Literally, because he bought that from Liverpool, and I don't know where he got the juju from, but he cursed that shirt like nobody's business. But I'm thinking, Jesse is on a horrendous form. Sanchez was on a horrendous form. So we were expecting, every one of us are like, oh no, he can't have it. Maybe he gets in that shirt and starts turning it on.
No.
It could be a possibility.
Nah, man.
Put it out there.
Nuradeen, don't gas him up.
Don't do this to me, man.
No, I'm just putting it out there.
Mark Allegri, Pochettino, Marco Bielsa, Laurent Blanc. Which one of them would you reckon would be suited to?
That's what I'm going to say.
Bielsa all
I didn't know you were going to say that, you know.
Bielsa is a master you know when you talk about master tactician?
That's it. Pochettino.
Pep.
Allegri.
Pochettino. Who else?
Klopp.
Klopp. All of their styles were taken from him.
Is it not too late? You know what I mean?
I mean, obviously now he's managing one of our rivals, but if there is an opportunity to get Bielsa,
surely United wouldn't know.
If there was, take him.
So for me, you're asking the wrong question.
Have you watched
That's been my
Marco
dream.
Bielsa clips?
Well, let me tell you something. To me, it's my dream. Like I always said, and I'll repeat it again on this one, just for you that weren't there. The team that's absolutely destroying Manchester United as being one team in all my life that I've been going to games at Old Trafford. Now, sometimes I was sneaking back in the day when I was a kid. Sometimes I would get tickets, you know what I mean? Sometimes I would go to the odd game here or there, and there were seasons where I was just so bored because we were winning the league regardless, right? There was those times, young United fans, there was those times when I used to think, I already know what the score is going to be. But in the teams that absolutely tear us apart, there's only one team in my history that I've been at the game and I've literally seen, whether I've watched on television or been at the stadium, Atletico Bilbao, literally, their fans, their manager, their players, literally taught us a footballing lesson. So there were sections of the United fans who were clapping. There were sections who were clapping.
What year was this?
2011. Yeah.
And do you know why? This reminds me It was in pre-season, right?
No, Europa League, I think it was. You know,
No, I don't think it was 2011. I don't think it was.
Marco
2000
Bielsa, when he came and they took him out of Europe.
Was it 2011?
Comment below, guys. Was
Yeah.
it Marco Bielsa's side,
Because
Europa League?
I do remember
2011.
if it was around that time.
No, that the one Fergie left, that was Real Madrid that took us out. The one Fergie retired.
Was it? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, it was. I think it might have been before because this one, Paul Pogba. That was Paul Pogba's last game for Man United.
Yeah.
He came on as a substitute in that game.
Yeah.
And I think that season or the season after that, because I remember that squad, some of the key players that were in that squad. One of the key players was Javi Martinez.
Javi Martinez.
And that season or the season after that,
Susueta, I remember them, man.
Bayern Munich came and snapped him up for 40
And
million.
Herrera was incredible.
And Herrera was absolutely...
Herrera was the number 10. Herrera in that system played as a attacking midfield player where Pogba plays, where he was playing for us last 3 months.
And I can see a lot of people come and say already, oh, he's never really won nothing. Listen, to be a great manager, you don't per se have to be winning anything.
Sarri didn't win a lot. What did he do?
The fact that Pep, Allegri, Pep, Poch, Klopp all talk about Bielsa says something.
Yeah.
Not even that.
Pep even said he's the best in the world.
Of course, listen, in terms of modern management in the last 15 years of the whole press, of man-for-man press and high press of the pitch and literally the total fitness of a football team, the obsessiveness that guy has, I always said it's always a fantasy and a dream.
Simeone.
I've said that again and again. A fantasy and a dream, the levels of intensity. The only thing with Bielsa is that more than 3 years, players stop listening.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
Is it Mourinho on it?
It gets time now.
No, it's different than Mourinho. He's actually far more different. He's obsessive. Mourinho likes to give it out more than what he actually is. But his tactics were basic. Bielsa's tactics is 3 training sessions a day.
Sure, you not got.
And if you look at the thing, he's like Nuradeen said, he's very strict with his players. He looks at the time they're going out, the time they get back home. Every day they would have to come in and train.
Imagine Jesse Lingard and that. They'd have no chance.
I've watched the Leeds documentary. Every morning when you come in, you have to do a weigh-in. They check your weight. They check what you eat. They check what you don't eat, what you drink.
He doesn't leave anything to chance.
Nothing goes unnoticed.
For me, I don't know, man. I take Pochettino all day long.
And that's why.
Anyway, but why?
And if you look at Pep Guardiola, he does the same thing. He watches at what time the players go to sleep. Everything.
Yeah.
Guardiola is literally taking everything from Bielsa because he's so inspired.
And that's the kind of way. Even though he manages our rivals, well, not really rivals, but you know what I mean, the noisy neighbours. When he's gone, you'll be back to where you were. I'm not worried about that. But I'll just say that what I like about Pep is that he gives props because it is him, and the style that the Bielsa style is come from, especially with the fullbacks and everything high up the pitch, camping teams in, all that comes from is a mixture of it's a mixture of 3 different footballing cultures. It's Spanish, it's Brazilian and Latin America as a whole, and then the Dutch. So this style is a combination of that. And here comes a very obsessive guy who never sleeps.
Yeah.
He never sleeps. He watches tapes. He'll spy on anybody, mate. He'll spy on you.
Guys, moving over to the questions. Try get through this quick as we can.
Yeah.
Do you think, guys, this is from Richie Poo, by the way, do you think, guys, that Ollie has the right backroom staff that are not tactically enough? And do we need changes in backroom staff? Pochettino, Klopp, Pep, they've all got tacticians in there. For me, that's a good point. You've got Arteta, you've got Klopp as his right hand man that's been with him in Dortmund. Yeah. Pochettino's got that Spanish yo. I think Mike Phelan, as much as he is it outdated tactics? Michael Carrick is unproven. Kenner, I don't know what he offers. You know, that's a genuine question you've got to put Aaron.
I don't think it's outdated, but it's just very old school.
Old school, yeah.
And that's Mick Phelan, and then Carrick and McKenna are pretty much unexperienced, so they're still trying to find their ways here and there. Even though they've acquired a lot, a lot of experience over the years, especially Carrick last season. I just think they would need a lot more years to be called like really tacticians and be part of the staff that's really experienced. But I'm willing to give them that time. Same with Ollie, man. I'm willing to give him that time. He will make a lot of mistakes in terms of tactics, but we've got to stick to him.
Compare with that.
For me, I think it's easy to say that when things are going wrong, but when things are going right, that question never comes. But I do agree. I think that sometimes you need somebody who's not been in a Man United bubble who could see certain things. So I'm a believer that, and the best times where Man United was successful. So we're talking about the 2018. We're talking about '99. The likes of what's the name? That guy who was at Derby. Oh my God!
The guy
the Brolly with the Wally with the Brolly. He became England.
McLaren.
McLaren came in, and McLaren actually was quite. At that time, he was one of the most talented coaches at that time because a lot of things about psychology, a lot of the things about rest and sleep, and a lot of those things about the diet. He was a quite forthright kind of guy, and he bought in those kind of things. And he was outside of that Manchester United bubble.
Yeah.
And the genius of Fergie was that he basically kept it refreshing coaches. Then in the 2018, obviously most of you have seen the clip of Roy Keane. You know what? Listen, Carlos Queiroz, man, I got rid of Roy Keane, got rid of the legend of the club. This is because of the war between them. But he bought in a different tactic, and he literally had the way of coaching United to play in Europe. That United became such a resolute team at the beginning of our evolution after Liverpool got everybody banned.
Yeah.
The United, and what I mentioned before, the 4-0. United learned that 2018 or the before, if we had Queiroz, United would not have got whacked at 4-0 because it's I think refreshing it up. But I think maybe one more coach that is not in the Manchester United bubble, who is experienced in Europe and who's experienced work with experienced managers, just to give a different view.
Should United prioritise the Europa League for the Premier League, Aaron? If it carries on the way, say we lose to Leicester and then it gets on to the point where we get a point from Arsenal.
I think we have to look at different scenarios. Let's say in the league it goes very well. From now on, from Leicester it goes very well. We start winning games and everything. Then obviously the tendency should be going towards prioritising the league. But if it goes bad in the league, then of course we should regardless we have to try and do.
And then you got to think of Pogba apparently is out for 5 weeks. That's a rumours coming out.
Well, that was a rumour that I read, but I think it's not that true.
Well, just in case, we lose players like Pogba, even like Martial's injured, Shaw's injured. Have we even got these two squads? We look like we had it when we had Lukaku, Sanchez, and all that, and Pereira. But now
I think we should try and do well in both. But realistically speaking, Europa League seems more let's say
feasible.
More feasible to get back into the Champions League.
You right with that?
The league's going to be hard.
I personally think, as a Man United manager and as fans,
always Premier League, innit?
We always have to try to get into your bread and butter. Your bread and butter is the competition. It is.
Yeah.
It is where you're finishing in the league. So for me, Europa League, we've won it. I'd rather even next season, I don't want to be in it. I don't want to be defending it. So that's what I'm trying to say.
If we finish,
you know what I'm saying. So if we finish
7th season,
listen, whatever. I just want to finish outside it because I don't want to be in it. If I can give Ollie, if the Europa League wasn't there, honestly, it would make me like because that Ollie would have maybe 5 or 6 days to work on his style intensely, like what's his name did? Klopp did. When Klopp came in that season, Liverpool finished 8th, and then the next season they finished 4th because he had that time. He wasn't involved in any European kind of games.
Yeah.
He worked on the intensity on the training ground that you need to do. And considering all this, I know a lot of people might be calling for Ollie's head, but give time. For me, I'm willing to give Ollie this season and then see how much more he clears out, because I think you grow into the coaching different parts of your tactics into the players through our different parts and the time that you do have. So I'm willing to be patient.
Aaron, should Rashford get dropped? For me, it's looking, I don't know, man. The form's not great at the minute.
Yeah.
But then again, can we afford to? Martial's injured. Do you know what I mean?
His form's not the best.
Beggars can't be choosers.
Exactly. That is the saying.
His form's not the best. I agree with that. But the way it's looking, again, I don't think Ollie will drop him because he loves him too much.
He runs a lot. That's what he does.
He'll keep on. I said it. He'll keep playing Jesse and Rashford.
To be fair, he dropped Jesse. He bought him on, but he dropped him for that game.
Was that a drop? Really?
He bought him on. But he
brought him on.
He wasn't in the starting lineup, and I do think even he realised himself. I think Ollie's going to realise. Sorry to interrupt, but I think Ollie's going to realise that there are certain things that he can see. We can all see it, and he can see. Yeah,
and the thing is as well. Like I talked to you in the group chat, and I said when he brought Matic on, Mata went off. He brought Matic on. Pogba played in a more advanced role against Southampton. Then he brought Jesse on, and Pogba all of a sudden was being put back again.
True.
So basically, what he's telling us is, I prefer Jesse in the 10 to Pogba.
It's mad.
So that already
that in itself is sackable.
It's making me a bit like, ooh. Do you know what I mean?
That in itself is sackable. You're telling me Jesse Lingard and Pogba in the 10.
When Matic came on and Pogba played more forward, we've seen the change. We've seen he was more hands-on.
To be fair, he did stay up there, even though he did drop back a little bit. He was still up there, and that's how we got.
But he
injured,
offered nothing though. That's
no. I'm talking about Pogba.
No. He did offer some. Lingard offered something, but it was the decision making that wasn't good. I remember there was a time where he could have played the ball to Greenwood. He was screaming for it, arms open, and he tries to take the shot. Do you know what I mean?
Want to go for 3 more questions, guys? Sorry, there's been a bond of a question. All of them are brilliant questions. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to Managerial, one of the guys, old school guys from subscribing from early days. If we were to make one sign in January, who would it be? Also, Real Madrid are probably Bruno Fernandes official. It's not official, is it?
He's staying at thingy.
Yeah. Would you go for him in January?
Oh, definitely. To me, if I was screaming out one player, 2 players were screaming out: Thomas Partey and Bruno Fernandes. And I've said it. I said it 8 years ago in 2011. I said we need to get Lassana Diarra and Schneiderlin, and it's exactly the same.
Schneider?
Sorry, it's Schneider.
Yeah.
Schneider.
I've had enough of him, man.
Yeah, Schneider. And I said
it. Take him now.
And I said it then, and I said because one is an attacking, passing, more creative midfielder. The other one's more defensive midfielder. So to me, if those two were to come in January, I think we could have a ride.
What do you reckon as well?
We need
one signing in January.
One signing, yeah.
One signing. I would say Bruno. It would be more feasible for Bruno because he plays the Europa League already. I don't think Thomas Partey would want to come because he plays the Champions League, so he wouldn't want to downgrade. So if we would go for Thomas Partey, I believe it would be next summer. But Bruno Fernandes is definitely a signing that I would make. But I doubt that he would come as well because apparently before the closing of the transfer window, he's been asking for reinforcements as well because he's the captain now, so he's allowed to say certain things. And he talked to the sporting board and said, listen, Bastos just left, the main striker with a lot of goals, so I need help. I need people that I can feed the ball to. They went and got Jesse Rodriguez on loan and Yannick Bolasie, so...
Bolasie? I
can't wait to see Bolasie at Sporting, so it's going to be hard to take him out of that team, man, because...
you don't know, bro. United will triple his wages. Already.
That could be a way to learn.
Pay the fee, then maybe the Sporting can go and sign someone to reinforce some of the areas in the team.
Yeah. Next question. Do you think the 07-8 team would beat the 99 team? I don't know. That's a good question,
Good question.
And that is not as far as you think in terms of... I think the 07 team would beat them, If you look at it, on paper, the quality up front would just... then again, would you have Paul Scholes in there? If you had Michael Carrick and Hargreaves in the middle...
One thing...
Vintage Ferdinand.
One thing I would say, because I lived that 99 team like it was nobody's business. I lived that season. You don't understand the level of superstition.
Yeah.
Shout out Mundo if Mundo's watching this.
Yeah.
But me and him used to make sure we sat on the same side. Same side on the seat watching the Champions League. We didn't want to go to the stadium. We got over. That's how superstitious we were. We would sit down. We'd be sat, hear the Champions League music, make sure that we were there in time. None of us could be late.
Yeah.
Anything else we had to cancel.
Yeah.
We'd either be dead in the hospital. That's what we used to say. We'd either be dead in the hospital to miss the Champions League game. We had to sit next to each other and watch the games. Back in the day, it used to be on terrestrial television. It was on ITV. Trust me. That one thing I would say about that team never knew when they were beaten.
Yeah.
I think in terms of tactically announced, more of a technical game, the 2008, 2007, because football obviously developed and changed.
Yeah.
Right? And the game became more kind of as done and improvements, you know what I mean? Because of that decade, isn't it? It was a decade.
Yeah.
So that decade and the levels of fitness improved. You had obviously the likes of Ronaldo hitting his peak. So, but one thing I would say about the 99 team, they never knew when they were being. And you know what? If you wanted to play football, they'll play football. If you wanted to fight, they'll fight.
Yeah.
They had amount of leaders in that team who would just brush you off. And they went to toe and everywhere in Europe and give it. So,
but then again, you go on the other side of it. You had Rio Ferdinand, Vidic in their prime.
You
had Van der Sar in there. You had probably the most potent front three in world football. Tevez, Rooney, Ronaldo. I don't know, man.
It's a hard one, man. It's a really.
I don't know. I'm leaning towards 07-8, man. I think that's the best team I've ever seen.
But obviously we are, because that's both of us. That's the team that we can relate to the most. I do believe him when he's talking about the 99 team. Like, it's not a joke. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not a joke, and I believe what he says. So I'm just gonna go safe and say it would be a joke.
Yeah, maybe. But I just know that it'd be apps if that could happen.
Entertaining.
If you could get a time machine, oh my god!
Yeah.
The first thing I would do is grab that team, send them back, and say, "Let's play now." And if I could duplicate, like the likes of Scholes, duplicate one Scholes either side.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Oh my god! One thing would be it would be absolutely like winners of winners.
Yeah.
They'd be like, it'll be war. It'll be stammered. Imagine stuff. Ronaldo is getting taken out. And you know what? What rules are we going to play? That's the most interesting thing. Are we going to play the old rules where the tackle from behind was allowed? Or are we going to play the new rules where the tackle from behind was not allowed?
Yeah.
Last question: is Daniel James better on the left? For me, it looks well better. The way he doesn't have to think as much, because on the byline with Wan-Bissaka, it's a bit, you know what I mean? It's a bit flat. They don't not quite work their chemistry right a bit. On the left, though, he could just look at them and just take them on.
He's got right foot in it. He's right footed.
Yeah,
right
on the
foot.
left, obviously, you can cut in and shoot like he did against Southampton. On the right, obviously, it's more like getting to the byline, crossing it in. But he's good at both. So listen, wherever he plays, I'm happy right now because he's the man in form. I want him to. Remember when we said, he's the type of player to come off the bench? Hey, sack that.
Scrap that. Scrap that.
Let me tell you something about Daniel James. All of our collective statements, he literally gave us a backhand. Sent us all shopping to Asda. Forget Tesco, mate. We're all in Asda. We're all in Asda.
We're all joined Ashley Young in Tesco.
We're not even. He left Ashley Young. He just said, boys, we're going to Tesco.
As long as he's not injured or anything, play the kid. But we have to be careful not to play him too much.
And not reliance on him. And I think the reliance on him. But what I like about him is that he's come and embraced. He said, you know what, I don't care. Considering what happened to him in the summer, considering all those different things. He's put that shirt on and said, you know what, I'm having it.
Give it a move,
I'm having it.
Guys, been a pleasure. Nuradeen socials.
That guy, Red Devil, you know what, that brigade.
Come at you. Are you ready?
That brigade.
The phone is on fire, is it?
Trust me.
Aaron, socials, man.
Yes, Mr. Aaron UTD everywhere and on YouTube as well.
Yeah, man, go check him out. We're going to do a video, European podcast, and another show. We're going to sort something out here. But yeah, new studio. It's a process, guys. It's a process. All that wind filter is gone now. We're here now, yeah? But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this Q&A. Obviously, it's international break. Boring. We're not going to watch that, are we? You know what I mean?
Listen, I don't know about you guys, but
but you're blessed though. You're Germany and that, but we got like bloody Lingard dancing around, man.
Can I just say one thing? Just one thing to add to this. I know that video might be a bit too long, but I think a lot of the audience are always asking, can the video be a bit longer? But I just want to ask you guys, my question is that, what would you think, what would possible replacement to the international breaks, not international football, the international breaks?
Yeah.
Okay. What possibilities?
Maybe like a B team where they can play, like, you know, the French team. If the French side could play a game where it was like, I don't know, like maybe Arsenal's French team. Do you know what I mean? Just so it's more.
But mainly it's about getting together. The main point is to getting together.
Maybe go on tour, go to maybe international, you know, go to Dubai and play a few games in there, you know. I think that would help, you know.
Another like training camp.
Training camp. Go to a training camp. Then only can work with players.
No, I'm not talking. I'm talking about the actual international break. I'm not talking about the United as the players.
Okay.
What further alternatives could you see to this? Because the season started. We've been in 4 games. Disruption for 2 weeks.
Yeah, true.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I know.
Are you kidding me? So what I'm thinking, what do you think your possible solutions to the international?
But where could they fit it though? That's the problem. Maybe
that's the thing.
Like the one they got in October. That's fair enough. You've got a couple of. You've been in the season quite long now.
Maybe started a bit later.
Yeah. But them September games, it's it's 2 games in a week, man. Yeah. Are you joking? What the players have already been playing?
We never know, someone might get injured and then.
I know, and that's why players like Aaron Bissaka, he's got a back injury. But is it really a serious back injury if you've got to think about it? Ollie's probably told me, listen, if you've got a slight niggle, out that door.
Yeah. It's not even that. But could you absolutely blame him? I mean, I put the tweet out. He's been carrying Man United. No wonder the kid's got back problems. But my personal solution would be, international football should be. To me, I hate the disruptions. We could either have the season start later, right? Yeah. Or and international teams can get together before the season starts. Some people might say, players can get injured, right? So that's a fair point. Or to me, we alternate the summers. So the summers where the World Cup is on and the European Championships are on. Yeah. When then on, then after the season ends, then the international players are going play the qualifiers for the next year's tournament. So the tournament there's a tournament to qualify. So you have a qualifying tournament where we don't get the interruption. So the season just flows, right? Flows because we're in 4 games in and now there's a disruption. There'll be another 6 games in and then there'll be another disruption.
Do you know what?
So possible solutions, but I personally believe that would just. So you would start the season early or later, depending. But the summertime would be a time to to do all the qualifications, do all the leagues. Why not? Just play the games to qualify, and so then you can go to
Do
the
you know what? Talking of qualifying,
that's
just
a good
just
idea.
to wrap this up. Talking of qualifying, shout out to Somalia. They're in the qualifying now, so good luck, man. You know what? We're not in that kind of international saying we're a qualified to qualify.
No.
So please, Somalia, let's do it. Believe.
The dream is England against Somalia at Wembley, mate. Bring it on, mate. Bring it on.
man.
Shout out to Somalia.
Yeah,
bro.
man. Shout out to Aaron.
man.
Shout out to Nuradeen. I hope you
Yo,
enjoyed
shout out
this.
Congo as well, man.
Shout out to Congo, man. You know what I'm
Bear
saying?
ballers, mate. Bear
Yeah, man.
ballers. Central African Republic, man.
Exactly, man. You know what to do. Like the video, subscribe to United Central, and I'm out, guys. Take care, bye bye.